Well, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know why I did that pause just then. I was just thinking, like, should I pretend that, everything's glitched out and it's all frozen? What's good, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to today's live stream on my days. Bitcoin is dropping. Quickly go over to X and try and see who's going to be saying and who's going to be maintaining the bullish stance. Don't worry, Bitcoin's going to be fine. Ladies and gentlemen, it's perfectly fine. We are experiencing a flush of buying. And if people are like, Tino, they're selling, please get out of this live stream. It's not for you. We are contrarian thought process traders. We do not think the way everybody else thinks because we think with what we know. And what we know is the relationship between the bids and the ask. Yes, I know I'm wearing the cool shirt today, ladies and gentlemen. I just love this shirt, man. It's see-through, man. It's EXO shirt. This is courtesy of Call of Duty, man. You remember the EXO suit back in the day? Yeah, you heard that joke before. Ladies and gentlemen, madness is going across the board. But don't worry. Really, don't worry. We've got ourselves a very interesting week ahead. The core measure, which will determine whether or not the Federal Reserve should be getting the rate cut for the world. That September rate cut that they're all waiting for. The data will be suggested on Friday, the core PCE, the price index, which is going to dictate if the cost of goods and services are going to be going up. And according to sources, it says that it's going to come in at a very tame reading. So if we're waiting for the tame reading, wouldn't now be a good time to buy? Think about it. The data doesn't come out till Friday. We've got inflation readings across the board that are going to be coming out. The Eurozone, the pound, Japanese, and all the gang. They're all going to be declaring how they are with inflation. And if all those guys are doing fine, given that the Euro has cut their interest rates, this will be the nail in the coffin for the US to say, you know what? Okay, seeing as the Euro's done it, maybe we might as well just cut as well. And that's what investors are all waiting for, ladies and gentlemen. However, we had a little bit of a tumble to the downside with the NASDAQ. But come on, man, we're operating at all-time highs. Like, let's be real now. Corrections are on the board. People need to start buying again. They need to take the money out of the markets and put it back in. They need to start making people feel like they're missing out and they're going to start buying now. Obviously, they're selling to those people as prices are rising. All that selling happened last week. And now we're going to be experiencing the bid phase of this event that we are going into. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, July the 31st, the FOMC will be hosting another press conference. So from now until then, we have a plethora of data coming out, which is going to be the nail in the coffin. I said that twice, but it's going to determine if we are going to get the September cut. And that's what banks are all waiting for right now, ladies and gentlemen. So in this live stream, what we're going to do, calm down, NASDAQ. What we're going to do is we're going to talk about some trading I did this morning. The volatility has been splendiferous, man. I've loved it today. NASDAQ's just behaving itself, doing wonderful movements. Only about an hour's worth of scalping, happy days. And I'll be talking about that very shortly. We're going to dive into Bitcoin price action because, of course, Bitcoin is taking a nice little seat to the downside. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, vector candle recovery. I'm not going to say that I told you. I just said that is something we were expecting to happen. But I said many a times they're going to come back and recover that vector candle. They left the imbalance in the chart, ladies and gentlemen. I'm starting to get hot and frustrated. I need to get into the live stream, ladies and gentlemen. If you are new to this channel, the energy is here. The madness is here. Welcome to Traders Reality. My name is Tino. Let's have a conversation, man. Let's get with the program. Here we go. And he's not there. He flopped it. Well, let's get with the program. Here we go. So, according to this article, which was released yesterday, it says that stock rise as traders await inflation cues. Now, this is what we mean about going into this week. I'm going to get into BTC price action. Don't worry. Markets are at a critical juncture heading into the second half of 2024. With uncertain outlook for central bank policy rates, the picture is also muddied by a series of up-and-coming elections. This election story is going to be very big. But ladies and gentlemen, the preferred game wage of consumer costs, the PCE deflator, is coming into play this week. So going into the calendar, what have we got? Well, we already had Waller speaking today, and we had the German Info Business Climate come out with 88.6 reading. Not really something I'm concerned about. But we go into the week tomorrow with the consumer confidence, and then we also have the GDP for the US this week, core durable goods orders, that's important, and pending home sales. These are all measures to determine how the economy is doing. And if the economy is doing fine, then the Fed technically doesn't have any reason to cut the interest rates. So we are looking for effectively contraction in any of the data that's coming through. But more importantly, we need to see the price index come down. And they are projecting for it to come down at a reading of 0.1%, which will be its most tamest reading since last May, according to what this article was suggesting. Okay, so we go into it all, and it says this week is relatively data light except for the key PCA data, which will be a big driver, and the Trump-Biden debate will be a major event. That itself, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be sending the markets like crazy. So just make sure if you are trading during that time, it's just as good as an FOMC. So just be very mindful with that. Now, with that being said, let's just quickly go over and have a look at what our dearly beloved BTC is doing. Poor Bitcoin. Now, they're blaming a lot of things with regards to this. They're saying that it all has to do with this story about MT Gox, if you remember that, how MT Gox had got hacked a little while ago, and now they've come out saying that they've got the money to now give it and return it back to investors. Well, could we make the assumption that those investors are starting to sell right now? And they're getting rid of the Bitcoin because of what they lost before. And now they're like, oh my God, the value of this is absolutely brilliant. I'm going to sell my Bitcoin now and get out of this business because I just cannot stand putting my money into crypto exchanges. Now, with that being said, they're saying that it could be about that. The selling pressure of the rehabilitation trustee of MT Gox, the Japanese crypto exchange that was hacked more than a decade ago, announced that it would start repayments of Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash in July. We ain't even in July, and Bitcoin's already dropping. So, with that being said, we go into it and it's saying that, yeah, that could be one of the reasons that Bitcoin's going down. But also on the same token, they're saying that is Germany to blame? Like, why has Germany got anything to do in it? So it says here, Germany sell pressure more than compensated by MicroStrategy's Bitcoin purchase. So the slowing economy in Germany and all of this madness. It says here that on-chain analytics Arkham, a wallet linked to the German government, transferred 6,500 Bitcoin to exchanges on 19th of June, around 425 million. And this is at the time when MicroStrategy started to buy the Bitcoin as well. Now you can see here with the data that's come out, MicroStrategy bought another additional 12,000 Bitcoin in principle, which effectively offset what was sold, okay? But you can see Germany sold, MicroStrategy bought. It's beautiful, isn't it, ladies and gentlemen? Which leads me over to this story here where US futures and options expiry and worsening global macroeconomic conditions. It says here the US stock market is facing a triple witching, an event that occurs every quarter when derivatives contracts tied to stock index options and futures are scheduled to mature. An aggregate of 5.5 trillion is set to expire on June the 21st. Well, we've had June the 21st, which could imply why everything has taken a little bit of a shoe bag to the downside going on to Friday and then going over into what we're witnessing right now. So there could be a continuation of that. Now, if 5.5 trillion has expired, then that means money's either gone to profitable hands, loss, and you know the story. So that means money is now going to get put to work again. They're not just going to leave that 5.5 trillion on the side. Like, they need to keep people's money working. This is made up of fund managers, hedge funds, you name it, pools of liquidity all over the world, banks, trusts, you name it. That's what that's made up of. They need to start putting that business to work again, which leads me over to good old BTC. Oh my God. Bitcoin. Ladies and gentlemen, please don't lose your minds. Don't lose your minds. This is good news. This is brilliant news. This is good news. The vector has been completely recovered, ladies and gentlemen. If you are new to this channel, please go watch last week's live streams because we give you the whole breakdown of the events of what you need to be seeing happening in order to justify not going down. And then you can see Bitcoin has now made the move to the downside and completely recovered the green vector candle. And this is where it gets interesting, okay? NASDAQ, please wait. Bitcoin has not really taken anything significant. Now, the guys on X might be going, oh my God, the bull flag's broken, the bear flag is done, the triangle, the Toblerone, whatever it is they make it to be. We focus on other things. We have just had a shocking amount of interest at this range right here. Allow me to show you. If you remember last week that we were talking about the limit orders that were coming into BTC. Now, here we go. For those of you that are at your charts right now, my holders, these are critical price points where people are buying. 60,500, we've got 23.26 million Bitcoin purchase in value. So it's actually 384 Bitcoin to be bought at the 60,500. Below that, we've got another at 60,000. We got $48 million worth of Bitcoin going to be purchased at the initial amount at 26.53 million at 60,000 on the nose. At 59,900, in case Bitcoin decides to sweep that range, we have got another 30.49 million to be purchased on the bid side, okay? We go down a little bit further than that. We got 59,700. We got another 30.82 million on the bid side. Again, 59,500. We got 1.46. Go down even further. We're not really seeing any big digits coming into play. Okay, so down to 52,000, that's where we're starting to really see not real interest coming into play. So can we be of the assumption that maybe the 60,000, the 59,000 could be Bitcoin's ultimate point of support? So that means if Bitcoin is going to go all the way back down towards this range right here and start stabilizing, okay, over the next couple of months and start working its way up to come back down and chill in this area, by the time we get the actual election and then, of course, the interest rate cut in September, Bitcoin should have been geared to make the recovery back up. That's what the logic would suggest. Because as of play right now, I'm not seeing no commitment coming in just yet in terms of large orders being placed on the bids. Anyone telling you that they're selling Bitcoin is lying. The people that are selling the Bitcoin are the people you don't want to be paying attention to, because that's retail, ladies and gentlemen. The people who are buying are right here in front of you. And this is why it's so important that when you look at this, if you remember from last week when we were talking about you've got a couple of options. If you do decide to do DCA, this is your area for DCA, and this is exactly where it's managed to make the move. Why have you come in my room right now, bruv? Please. How big is that? Go out. Go. Move. This is for my daily, my holders right now. Now, structurally speaking, a lot of people will be looking at this area here with Bitcoin on the wick, okay? We've got vector candles to the right, left of the chart. Now, there are events that could trigger a sweep to the downside and effectively create this area, even though I've said, look, the orders are over here, suggesting that there is interest inside of those zones. It doesn't mean that that is fixed. It means that they could actually load up a bit more. We won't know until price gets towards that point. Okay. Now, when you're looking at Bitcoin's price right now, we're looking at it thinking, oh my days, that's it now. It's done. It's done. Bitcoin's going down to 56, 51, 52, whatever you want to bloody say. But we can't say it most definitely it will, because we won't know who's going to get a little bit happy and start buying in these ranges. People are selling and the wrong people are selling, but the people that we need to pay attention to are the ones who are buying, because they buy as it drops. So you might go around, start witnessing that this is it for Bitcoin. It's done to the downside. It's going to go down. And all of the guys who are negative about Bitcoin, certainly not me, because when it goes down, they're buying. I'm always going to be paying attention to when people are buying it. NVIDIA CEO decides to sell his stock. Where did he happen to sell it? Where did he happen to sell it, ladies and gentlemen? Happened to sell it at the most significant high of NVIDIA, the day it becomes the world's most valuable company. How about I just sell it for another 200, what was it? 200 million, 200 billion, something like that. Whatever it was a significant amount at the highs. This is where you pay attention. Now, with that being said, the day has started off negatively for Bitcoin, and it's tried to make a low, which we can see right here at 60,582. Everyone is yet to wake up in the US, or maybe the New York stock market. They're all getting ready, getting their coffees. Got myself a nice cup of chai right here. And they're all getting ready to see what's hit the market, what's made the market go down. Look, ladies and gentlemen, as much as it gets exciting and what have you, but it's not really much. I mean, NASDAQ, what have you done? You've gone back into last week's close, Monday's open, sorry. come on, man, it's not really bad news right now going into the stock market itself, because if you notice the pressure of the stock market, it's starting to go down and Bitcoin's starting to go down, okay? Now, this hasn't been updated just yet. It does say that it is in a confirmed uptrend. We just quickly go and have a look at the NASDAQ in terms of volume, because this is very important for us. Okay, so we just quickly go over to the NASDAQ Composite, and you can see that the NASDAQ had netted a negative, not as negative week, but it's not coming with volume above average. Going into the daily time frame, you can see that there's a lot of selling, okay? There happens to be a lot of selling happening up here. As you can see, the volume is above the 50-day moving average of the volume itself, all right? And it hasn't surpassed the 11.9 billion, which is all good because they're still containing price at the upside. They missed the 20K on the futures markets, and this is where I was trading this morning on the NASDAQ. So I'll just quickly show you that, and then we get into some more Bitcoin price action and have a look at Ethereum and, of course, have a look at Solana. So what we got? So today, this was my performance for Monday. I've got things to do after the live today, so I'm not going to be able to take any trades afterwards. But I had a morning session today on the NASDAQ. I'll just bring that up for you right here. So this is the screenshot over here. So just for the nature of demonstration, right there. Okay, then. So here we go. So today we cleared $2,337 on our funded PA accounts right there. And I started taking the trades at 11:34 this morning, and I was done by, what time was it? Yeah, we got out about 12:06. It was about half an hour's worth of trading there or thereabouts. Quick scalps at the lows right here. I took more trades on this account right here because I noticed that the NASDAQ was getting ready to do these nice little reversals. Now, I'm using this platform over here, Atos Platform, and I found this on the platform. I'm going to talk about it with the guys who are Platinum members. Platinum membership, by the way, guys, we're coming to a close on that discount code, 20% off. Use the code NEWMEMBER if you want to take advantage of 20% off your first month. And this week on the weekly review, I shared a video on what it is I actually do when I'm trading. What is it I'm actually looking for? It's a 49-minute video, and I just break down everything that I'm doing and what I'm looking for with the NASDAQ in relation to the depth of market when we're using this kind of stuff, looking about the hybrid system, how I'm incorporating the vector candles and certain bits of behavior on the NASDAQ that I'm paying attention to make me justify a reason to go long or to go short, all right? So if you do become a Platinum member, go into the weekly review. It's titled How I Take Trades and the breakdown of all of that. I've got a lot of positive feedback regarding that. So it did help a lot of people. A lot of aha moments is what I'm seeing in terms of the comments. So that's happy days right there. But this morning I was testing something. This is Atos Platform, which you can download for free for crypto. I purchased the platform. I purchased it 2 years ago, the full license, because you can link accounts to this and you can trade off it. Now, what I've done is I've added this indicator called the speed of tape. That's what I'm interested in. It's notified by these yellow bars, okay? What is the most common thing that you can see on these yellow bars? What do you see straight away when you see these yellow candlestick bars? This is the 5-minute time frame. And it can go for Bitcoin as well. You can do exactly the same for Bitcoin. All right, let me just do that for you right now. Let me bring Bitcoin up, okay, just to put that into perspective so you guys can see that. Hold on. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. There we are. All right, same story for Bitcoin, right? What is it that you are seeing with these yellow tick candlesticks? You're seeing that they go back to them, don't they? Okay. Now, you can see that with the speed of the tape. What does that give me? What information does that give me? What do we talk about all day, every day? The vector candle. The speed of the candlestick tells me at how fast they are transacting on the bid and the ask. That's information for me when I'm a scalper. I need to know that. Fast in, fast out. And this is what I was doing this morning on the NASDAQ. I was exploiting the price movements. I'll just quickly go back into it. If you're looking at my entry price points, here we go. So 19,967 on the scalp. And then I'm getting out at 19,981. Okay, so just to round it off, 20-point scalp. $570. Happy days. That trade lasted me, that lasted 30 minutes. But it was a slow morning, okay? But we saw the volatility. I held on to that trade. And it's not normally what I do when I'm trading. But here we go. Look at this. You've got an entry point at 1:45, just now, just before the live stream. So, yeah, I am trading before the live, ladies and gentlemen. So at 13.45, we took an entry and we sold it at 13.47. 2 minutes later, we made $120. Happy days, finished. 2-minute scalp, okay? $120, done. Done for the day, $2,337. I like the idea of that. And what you've got to try and do, ladies and gentlemen, is when you're trading, you've really got to say to yourself, what is my hourly rate? When you think about it, you've got to say to yourself, how much is my position earning me on an hourly basis? So if I were to close my position in a profitable trade, whether it's Bitcoin or Ethereum, okay, how much would I be earning on an hourly basis? So if you held your trade for 2 hours and you made yourself $1,000, technically your trade time is the equivalent of $500 an hour. If you are working a 9 to 5 and your current 9 to 5 pays you the same amount of money for an hour's work, you have no reason to close the profitable trade. Because you can associate with that sort of money. You can make sense of it. You can be like, yeah, man, like, I earn that, when I'm working anyway. So I'm going to hold on to this so that I can earn more money on what I believe could be the reversal to the upside on Bitcoin, for example. All right? But when you're making significant amounts of money in a short period of time, when you start looking at things from the hourly rate, you then tend to come to a level of humbleness. When you're looking at a profitable position of $3,000 and you've been in the trade for less than an hour, let's just round it off for a second. Let's say you make $3,000, you grab a nice move in Bitcoin and it nets you $3,000 profitable position and you're using leverage and it's taken you 30 minutes to get to that amount. Why the hell are you not closing that profit? If you're not earning $3,000 on your normal 9 to 5 every 30 minutes, then why would you leave that position open? What, for more? Don't come to the game thinking for more. What's more is you're going to be able to get another opportunity if you're executing an edge that does have a successful win rate. Now, you only need to be right 6 out of 10 times to be deemed as terrific in this business. And that comes from the Robbins Cup leader winner, Larry Holmes. He smashed it in there. And he said you only need to be right 6 times out of 10 to be deemed as terrific in this business. When you're seeing people banking like triple-digit returns, hedge fund managers ain't going to be looking at that. They're going to be happy and they're going to be kissing the ass of the guy that can sustain at least a 1 to 3% return on his allocated capital. They're going to be like, well done to you, bro. How much you made today? 0.2%. Yeah, man, that's awesome. How much it costs you? Literally nothing. Awesome. I'm happy with that. When you really say to yourself, you know what? How much have I earned? What does someone that you know have to do to earn that money in the time that you've earned it? Who has to travel? Whose mother has to walk down dark alleyways? Whose daughter has to walk down dark alleyways? Who has to catch a bus? Who has to get into a taxi and take shit from taxi drivers or people on the bus who are farting, coughing, sneezing, and you got to inhale that shit and then go home to your child and then she could, God forbid, get sick. When you've got money in this game and you're making profit, take it. Because you're not going to be appreciative of what the market can give, but I bet you're appreciative of what it takes. You're very appreciative at that point, like, yeah, man, lost a lot of money. That's why I scout, because I like to come into this chart, take and get the fuck out of it. Too many times I've been watching significant gains coming into the chart. NASDAQ, you wonderful thing. Too many times I've left money on the table. I'm done with it. I see a profit, I'm out. I'm in and out, finished. And when you align your mentality and your thought process to that, okay? And listen, when people say you need to maximize your returns, yeah, I get that. If you're a holder, it's a different story. You're having to absorb a much bigger overview. But from a scalper's perspective, this is what I do. And if you are going to merge into the idea of scalping, you've got to change the way your brain's thinking. You have to. There's no time to make out, oh yeah, man, this is it. I'm going to make millions of dollars on this trade. Make $1 in this game, you can make 2. Make 2, you can make 3. You make 4, you can make 5. But just be reasonable with it. When you've got a profit, take it. Get out. and then start again. It has to align with your trading strategy, ladies and gentlemen, because we all want instant gratification. We're always looking for the safest option, and we're always looking for an instant moment to actually make some money. This avenue here is what it can cater to. It can do that for you. But when you've got the money there and you just sat there like big dick thinking, yeah, baby, man, I got myself a $2,000 position. Yeah, I'm making 2.5K. And you're looking at it and like, yeah, man, let's go and have a look at some. Let's see what we can take the misses out. Or can we actually go and buy something? And then it goes down to $1,000. That list that you had in your mind has now disappeared. It's now got a little bit cheaper. Now you're going to have to go down to your local supermarket and hope that they got the top stuff over there. Take profits, man. Within reason to your strategy. Understand. You know, when you say, yeah, Tino, you take profits, bro, but I've been spotting what have you. I'm a swing trader. You get the idea. All right? If you're a swing trader, consider how much money you can make and how long it takes someone. What hours does someone have to work in a month for you to make a return of 5-6 grand on a swing trade that you earned after 3 days of holding? When you put that into perspective, you become somewhat respectable to the marketplace and you take what is given. Because the market will take from you. Most definitely. Most definitely the market will take from you. Now, Bitcoin. After that little chewing fest on your ears, ladies and gentlemen, please forgive me. Tino treats trading on a brothel principle. In, out, next. Bro, please. No, I do not treat it on the brothel principle. Brothels are bad news. I told you, man, my story of what happened with the lady from the brothel. She slapped me because I wouldn't engage. Nah, man. She was fired, to be fair, but no. Anyways, quickly, miners ain't doing nothing. Look at them. They're holding. We could suggest it as buying. Maybe. They could be picking some up. They've done their selling over here. So they might be holding right now. Okay? Quickly going into the bids and the offers, what we got going off here. Mm. 12 million swept at the 60,500 zone. Right there. 12 million, red vector candle. Any questions? Quickly. Yep. I need to know exchanges I can use for leverage on stocks. I'm an Aussie, then I can join Platinum. Well, it depends on where you're going. Okay, I'm with BTCC. Okay, BTCC is a crypto exchange, great for anyone who doesn't want KYC. All right, if you're in the United States and you can actually trade the NASDAQ and the S&P and some stocks. Here, Tech 100 is the NASDAQ, SP 500 is the S&P. Then you've got all the 7, the Magnificent 7, they are here. So those are the main ones that you can trade on BTCC. And of course, you've got cryptocurrency where you've got effectively 225x leverage. Please be respectable with it. Don't take the piss. Don't put everything down. It's been around for a long time. So if you want to check those guys out, description has the link to that. All right. If you want to be trading on the exchanges, if you are from the States and of course anywhere else in the world with KYC measures. Now, Bitcoin waking up. Let's have a look at where we are. Where are we, ladies and gentlemen? Huh? Where are we right now? By the principle of the nightclub, where are we? So far right now, we are currently sat in what appears to be, where are you? We're getting the champagne. The market's open. Champagne on the value area low. That cheap shit champagne that smells like cat urine. Okay? I don't know because I don't drink alcohol. I'm Greek and I don't drink alcohol. It's just not for me. I'm too in tune with the charts, ladies and gentlemen. But we're at a value area low where there is a lot of value in this value area low. People are happy with this range. Oh. Got some activity. The market's going to show its direction at 3 p.m. Let them get to the swing of things. There's only so long you can buy cheap champagne for, ladies and gentlemen. Just be mindful. We got a shoe bag ton of value up here. Point of control is 1,800. Be careful because the point of control can change. Right here, only need another 700 contracts and it changes. Down here, we only need another... Hold on a second. That doesn't make sense. How can the point of control be all the way up there? What is that? Bro, is that an 8? That's an 8. Why is that not updated? So the point of control technically... that's bizarre. That's not right. That should not be right. Anyways. Look at NVIDIA. What's going on with NVIDIA? Wait there. Let me have a look at NVIDIA. What is NVIDIA doing? Let's have a look. Yeah, gaps. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got gaps to fill. We got gaps to fill, man. Let's just have a look at where we are in the yields. Hold on. Remember. Side gapped up. Gaps on the spreads right there. That's pretty big. Now, listen. We got big movements coming with the Japanese yen. Big movements. All right? So just be careful with the Japanese yen. Yen goes up, dollar goes down. Remember, guys, where we are right now in the stock market, you can get yourselves a very valuable dollar. Sorry, get valuable stocks because the dollar is appreciated by 5%. All right? That is a valuable dollar. Valuable fiat currency. It's valuable. So selling the stock right now, which is what's going on in the stock market, is going to give those guys a lot of capital. Okay? When they sell their stock, it's now more worthy to sell their stock at these highs. Okay? Because of the value of the dollar. All right? Quickly go back into Ethereum. Let's have a look at Ethereum. These lows, ladies and gentlemen, these lows. Boy, oh boy, these lows. Bitcoin doing its thing, trading below the range daily low. Let's quickly go and have a look at where we are on the depth of market right here. Oh, back into value, ladies and gentlemen. Looks like they don't like the champagne. Ah, look at that. Look at it. What do you see? The selling. It's red. Right now, there's a lot of people that have gone short. They're getting smacked in the face. They are getting smacked in the face in their shorts. And if we just... Wait a second. Wait for it. Who the hell went short? Who went short there? Fuck's sake, bro. Oh, God, man. Who went short there? 60,660, whatever it is. 60,660. Right, here's a lesson for you. Look at where that guy went short. Screenshot that, ladies and gentlemen, and you will come to understand the relationship of what Mr. Market Maker exploits. Retail goes short here. They go short here. Okay? This is how you effectively capitalize on reversals. Do you remember the trick shot we spoke about? Remember the trick shot video in the channel that we did last week? And I bet when people are looking at it thinking, fuck this guy. Yeah, fuck this guy, did it. There's your trick shot. Isn't that a long liquidated? It's probably, yeah, it's a short, but a long liquidated at the same time, probably, yeah. But that's where retail's going short. It's a different version on here as well. That's a long liquidation, but there's orders in here, shorts. There are shorts coming in. Why have you changed this all up? Here we go, the shorts. There we are. I got my shorts wrong. Shorts are here. Shorts are here. Shorts are here. The reds. The reds. Reds. They're all reds. Look at these guys going short here. Reds, shorts. Shorts down there. All right, tell a lie. It was actually 60,750. It's gone short right there. Right in that zone. Look at that short. Nice shorting entry point. Fantastic. That is 60,000. Yeah, 60,868. Let me just change that. 60,868. There it is. Fractionally up. There you go. So there's your short. Retail's gone short from that point. Retail's gone short from that point. A ballsy move right there on the short for the retail trader. But you know what? We don't know what his capital is. Okay? He could be accepting of price going back up to only come back down. But what you've got to understand is the nature of where they're going short from. Okay? Go and have a look at where people are going long from. Come on, where's that reading? Where is it? It's changed it all up. Here we go. There we are. Someone went long at that point right there. Long. Long's price right there. Okay? Ah, yeah, he messed up a little bit there. Did he pay himself? Probably not. They're buying. Look. What a guy. What a guy. He went long. He went long there. Something wrong. You're going long. 62,912. Go and have a look at that. 62,912. 62,912 would put us right here. Okay? That's where he's going long. He went long there. It's eaten him alive. Leverage, because this chart represents the leverage that's being used in the charts. All the money that is being borrowed from retail traders by exchanges. Market maker supplies the liquidity to the exchange so the exchange can give the market maker the return of the client who is putting down the capital. That's what it's all about. Any questions? Any questions? Any questions? Any questions? Yeah, that's high block, ladies and gentlemen. Yep. Okay, then. He went long. When Gina. It's this range that people will lose money because they're thinking before the drop like. I use EMAs in conjunction with VWAPs, but it's literally, if I had a list of 10 things that I look at, okay, a list of 10 things, the EMAs will be down there at 9 and 6, or it'll be between 7 and 9, like 10, but the priority would be the vector candle number 1. That gives me the scope of what I'm trading with, okay? What's been going on? Who's buying? Who's selling? Who's manipulating? Who's sweeping? Who's taking price from one point to the next? Who's creating the idea of what's going on in the charts? Who's losing their shit? Who's selling? Who's buying? That's what the vector candle tells me. The next thing after that comes with the order flow. What's inside of this vector candle? Where on the actual profile over here? So let me just show you something. Where on the NASDAQ can I assume that there's going to be imbalances in the chart? Well, look at what's going on right here. I've got this order flow right here on the NASDAQ, okay? I've got the point of control all the way up there. NASDAQ has swept the lows and it's now managed to make a little bit of a recovery back up. When I change the tick size, I can look closer and closer to see if there's any imbalances in the book. But if I change it by the day, I can then see if there is any imbalances on the profile that I can trade towards, okay? Now, when I look at this, so I just pull this over for you. If I just go over to, whoops. Okay, so here is where, whoops. All right, so you can see, look, there's a wild spread on the NASDAQ and on the NASDAQ right now. My data's not coming in properly, but you can see that there's more of a profile up here on the NASDAQ and on the depth of market. So I'm going to be assuming, yeah, I want to go and trade into that range. I look at the depth of market over here from a charting point of view. Look, they come into the VWAP, rejection of that nasty VWAP. They come straight back down again, okay? So, like I said, that's what I'm looking for, ladies and gentlemen. Imbalances on the candlesticks, the vector candles, looking at the depth of market, it's all there for me. The EMAs, they're the last thing that we consider. Because on the daily time frame, different story. EMAs do have their principle on the daily time frame. They do. And remember what I said. If the 5 and 30, if price can't get above the 5 and 13 EMA, we're going down. We are getting ripped apart with a new back derriere to the downside of the vector candle. That's what we've been waiting for. We've now got it. And now look at what we've got. We've now got price trying to stabilize inside of this range. Okay, so just take that into consideration. Now, with that being said, Tino, do time frames affect vectors recovery? Technically, yes and no. Why? Because if you look at this candlestick, okay, so look at this candlestick. There's no vector candle inside of this candlestick, and that's on the daily time frame. That's today. Go to the 4-hour time frame on that. You can see we've got a vector candle right here. The red vector, if I'm correct. red vector candle right there, red vector candle, red vector candle, red vector candle. Okay, so the majority of the day has been made up of red vector candles, and that's on the 4-hour time frame. Now we go into the hour time frame. Do you have any more? Yep, there is one main vector candle right there. Cool. What did it do? Sweep the Asian session low. Fine. So there's 1 vector, 2 vector, 3 vector, 4, 5 at the start of the session. That's when the daily candle come into play on Monday, and then it all just went consistently vector candles. So they're purposely trying to buy Bitcoin. That's what I'm looking for. All right. And when you're looking at the hybrid system, the vector candles effectively tell you what's the intention. They're coming back to these points later on. Okay. You've got to try and work out if the point that they're actually basing from in this area here is going to be the point that actually recovers the vector candle. That's where the art of trading comes into play, where you've got to train yourself. That's why I say to you, go back in the charts and just go and find yourself a vector candle like this one here that doesn't finish at the lows and it makes a reversal back up. What characteristics can you build from going back and looking at these candlesticks? Because it can only do one of two things. It's either going to be a red vector candle or a green vector candle in terms of the style of candlestick you're looking for. It can only close positive or negative. Now, how it closes positive and negative is where you start going back and looking at the variations of that. Where does the actual candlestick close? How's it closing? Is it closed at the daily low? Is it closed outside of the Asian range? Is it closed above the New York high, New York low, the New York Brinks? Is it closed at the time after the news announcement? There's so many things that you have to take into consideration. And that's what this candlestick gives you when you go back in the chart and say, right, where was this vector candle over here? Look at this. This strong vector candle right here closed aggressively strong to the downside. That could tell me that they're getting ready to start marking prices lower. There was no recovery from that. They want lower prices. There's no wick on that candle at all. And then it just rolls over. Go back and find another one. Here we go. So look at this. You got this candlestick right here. It closes at the lows. Okay, closes, goes in and comes back up. It doesn't close at the lows, sorry. The next candle does exactly the same thing, comes back up. So you could be trading back into that logic, and then you'll be like, okay, what kind of candle, what do I have to be aware of with this? Like, if I see this in the future, can I expect a blue vector candle to come into play? Look, it doesn't really have that much of a successful move to the upside, but yeah. So then you start profiling what it could do. Look at this one here. Strong red vector candle down to the downside. It swept the New York session low, the Asian low, and this previous New York session right here. And when you see that sweep to the downside, you then say, maybe they could be coming back up to recover that because they moved pretty fast on that candlestick. I'm only going to assume that if I take a trade right now and the close of this candlestick, then they're more than likely going to try and go back up because it's the New York session. Volume is thrive. What day was it? It was Friday. Happy days. Like the last of the day's trading. Okay, fine. I'll take advantage of it. Take the trade and you'll know if you're right or you're wrong. Simple. That's the way trading is. You ain't going to know if your trade is right if your trade isn't open. Finished. You can do all this practicing going back. At least you know what to look for. And you're not second guessing. If you don't see a pattern of behavior, look. That red candle, blue candle formation. Now look at the differences. I'm going to give you this one and leave it. Red candle, blue candle. The blue candle closes strongly. Bitcoin sort of climbs up. Go back to that last one. Look at that one. Not much conviction right there. And it dripped and then came down. So now you've got two styles right there and think, okay, the next time I see a red vector candle like that, I'm going to make sure that the candlestick is going to be closing strong because I could assume they're going to move up. But one key thing is this. They did that there, but they also left that behind. Part and parcel, the setups that I give always take into consideration specific areas that they need to go to first. Today's setups are exactly the same. Bitcoin needs to go somewhere first, and then the setup would be valid to then assume the idea of price going to the next point. If you're not factoring what it could do first before it could go to where you would like it to go, then you're not going to have any focus. There's not going to be a systematic approach to your trading. Okay? With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, Tina, what are your thoughts on the historical market dumps close before, sorry about that. Here we go. David, the assets that I share the setups are across 6 asset classes: Euro, Gold, Oil, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana, NASDAQ, and S&P. Well, it's actually 8. They're in them. Hey, Tina, what are your thoughts on the historical market dumps close before the US lowering their interest rates? I've got my chart right here that shows that, okay? Fed pivot, historically, brings around a 30% correction. Around 30% correction. Okay? We put it into perspective for you. Here we go. Right there. Okay? Fed pivot at the highs, 51% drop. Fed pivot at the highs, 58% drop. Fed pivot, 35%. Okay? Fed pivot, 27%. Fed pivot, 48%. Okay? I mean, just look at where the stock market is right now. It's a change in the monetary policy, fiscal policy, ladies and gentlemen. Money's going to be a bit cheaper, so they need to now move it from certain places and get it into other places. That's why the Fed pivot is so important. All right? Ladies and gentlemen, listen, mad love and respect. I hope you've enjoyed today's live stream and you've learned a thing or two. Remember, 20% off the Platinum membership. The discount code expires at the end of this month, so you only get now until the end of the month to take advantage of that discount code. It's pinned to the top of the chat and in the description of this live. Mad love and respect, guys. Please trade safely, and I will check in with you all later. Peace.